Oh, what does this do? What happened to the other expeditions?
In Clair Obscur Expedition 33...
Hold on, let's see.
Your mission is clear. Reach the monolith and defeat the Paintress to stop the Xenos finger snapping that happens every year. But long before Expedition 33 set out,
of course, their
dozens
stronghold
of
pops a
others
lot.
embarked on this journey.
How many? What happened to them?
What happened to them?
This is a question I constantly ask myself throughout my journey and the continent.
Yeah, server crash.
Let's explore what happened to the expeditions before Expedition 33 visually. Using journals, in-game locations, map layouts, and cutscene references, I have created a radar graph.
The radar graph, bro? Holy shit. Okay.
The monolith, the ultimate destination. Expeditions are dots on the graph, positioned based on how close they got before failing. Now for a short spoiler warning. This video will include minor spoilers from Clair Obscur related to expedition outcomes. I will avoid story spoilers. That means no Expedition 0 talk. We are led to believe that there were 67 expeditions before Expedition 33. But there aren't 67 dots on the radar. That's because the game doesn't have lore on all possible expeditions. 40 of them have journal entries. 11 are referenced in dialogue and cutscenes in-game, including the unlaunched Expedition 32. But I may have missed one or two of them, so just yell at me in the comments. That means that 27 are missing a journal entry. That's because they may have died before writing a journal entry, or what I personally believe, they never launched expeditions during those missing years. On Expedition 84's journal, Yasmin writes,
"Bloody hell, we're out here chasing shadows. 15-year-old shadows. I'm glad we restarted the expeditions. How the hell are we supposed to find them? No trail could last 15 years.
This isn't proof that expeditions stopped for 15 years. Only that it's been 15 years since Expedition 0. But it is proof that Expedition stopped for a time. We also know from Expedition 78's journal that there was major discontent with Lumiere's council around those years, which, together with the lack of urgency that people may have from dying at 78 years old, as opposed to, say, 40, may explain another pause in expeditions. But again, I couldn't find definitive proof. It's representing 8 expeditions. Rings around the center depict the physical distance from the monolith. But there's another way to visualize this. Expedition 33's route, your route as a player. Let's reorganize the dots along the player's actual path, showing actual progression rather than just physical proximity. Now for the last step. I'm going to color code the dots to indicate what the expeditions accomplished. Blue expeditions are the ones with no major advancements or external conflicts that failed early or mid-journey. Orange expeditions are the ones that failed due to environmental or physical threats. The orange expeditions died in battle or reaching barriers, while the blue expeditions died from being unprepared or diseases in a quieter, more passive manner. Yellow expeditions contributed meaningful knowledge or infrastructure before
Damn, there wasn't very many of them. Holy shit.
Fell apart due to leadership failure or mutiny.
There was...
or conflict between members that led to disbandment or deaths. And purple expeditions are marked by sabotage or politically motivated actions against Lumiere's council, for instance. Obviously, your classification of the expedition journals may be different, but I ended up with 15 blue expeditions, 13 orange, 8 yellow, 1 red, and 3 purple. The radar is great for giving you a bird's eye view.
Dude, I kind of want to reread Expedition 48. There was mutiny
of all 40 expeditions, but there are some that I believe deserve highlighting.
Run out of time.
Expedition 34 had a party that was focused on elemental attacks, and they died when they encountered Nevrons that were immune to all of them. But during their journey, they discovered that Chroma gets stronger the closer they are to the monolith, and grew suspicious that Pictos could be converted into Lumina, just as Gustav predicted. Expedition 35 veered off track a little and got mauled by a Nevron. After the battle, as they were bleeding out, the members formed a human bridge in their last act of sacrifice.
Dude, I remember that. This is fucked beyond belief. Yeah, this is a bridge made out of like human remains.
To
Yeah, I
help
remember that.
future expeditions navigate the area.
Expedition 35 is over. But tomorrow comes.
Expedition 40 got very close to the monolith, but they were Xeno'd by an invisible barrier. The members that weren't Gamaged tried to get past the barrier to no avail.
Yeah, they like literally ran into the barrier like a bug zapper. I remember this one.
Expedition 60 and 70 made it past the barrier point. More on that later. We don't know exactly how Expedition 48 met their end, but it's the only expedition journal describing mutiny.
Mutiny. Something I'd never have countenanced. Yet I have a duty to them too.
Their leader, Jean, was relieved of his duties under Expedition Code 23. Jean was apparently risking lives unnecessarily, and when confronted, he doubled down. Regardless of whether it was the mutiny itself that caused the deaths of the expeditioners, they did not achieve much after.
Oh, yeah, I remember this one because this guy right
They did
here,
not achieve much after.
this Nevron right here doesn't actually want to kill people. He just wants to play music. And when you fight him, you have to parry and dodge and shit on the correct note. Or sorry, you have to parry the correct note. So all like the harmful things, you have to like parry, I think, and the other ones you have to dodge.
Expedition 50 is interesting. You know how people question why Frodo and Sam couldn't just get on an eagle and fly to Mount Doom? It's the same reason why Expedition 50 couldn't just build a giant Ferris wheel to then roll to the monolith. Sauron has an Air Force too, and the Paintress has a Sea Serpent. But why build a giant Ferris wheel to then roll? I don't know. And I think the Serpent destroyed it because it also thought, what the f***?
You see, they created this giant wheel, and they tried to cross the world.
Okay, Professor.
Expedition 53 is a great example of the expedition's motto. When one falls, we continue.
When one falls. Not if. When.
One of their members was left comatose, and they were forced to move on, after 2 weeks of staying by her side.
Damn.
Expedition 60 is kind of special. I believe it's the only journal that
We
is
will not
found nowhere
show the
near
journal.
where the expedition ended. That's because Expedition 60 ended inside the monolith. But they discovered something so major, they felt it was necessary to send a messenger back to Lumiere to warn future expeditions. 60 died inside the monolith, but the messenger who wrote the journal gamaged before reaching the city. Expedition
Wait,
60 was so badass.
Was Expedition 60 the expedition that was like swimming in the water and were naked and shit and they were like fucking warriors and stuff? That was Expedition 60. The one where you have to get SK to get the fucking thing out of the water, I think.
They made it past the gamage barrier by forcing themselves through. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you can't do that. Not even with console commands.
I'm telling you, we can't.
Hey, we just found Expedition 32's journal. It says if you like this video and subscribe to the channel, you'll get added to the Monolith VIP list, and you will gamage. Plus, we'll be super grateful. So, win-win. I feel like I need to honor Expeditions 44 and 66 because they make me laugh, and so I shall defend them.
Okay.
44 thought they could enter the Nevron Society disguised as Nevrons.
Oh,
But this
yeah. But the Nevrons, I remember this. Yeah, but the Nevrons could tell. So it has something to do with chroma. It has nothing to do with like eyesight or visual or anything.
Baldur's Gate 3.
To any expeditions that follow our trail, do not disguise yourselves as Nevrons.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
66 discovered by accident that you should only eat mushrooms if you're immortal, which they weren't.
Damn it all, I should never have trusted a giant talking marshmallow.
But good contributions.
Great, and now I'm losing consciousness.
Expedition 68 was hit by a storm and barely made it to the continent.
Expedition 68. Their boat was blown into the air by a storm. Lumiere lost sight of it, but assumed they crashed on the continent.
The survivors killed a bunch of Nevrons, but couldn't beat the area boss. Expeditions 70 and 69 were facilitators. Their mission was to make the journeys of the future expeditions easier by placing grapple points and handholds in the continent. Expedition 70 made it all the way inside the monolith.
The interior of the monolith is perhaps the harshest landscape we've encountered. The final set of grapple points were excruciatingly complex to place and required painstaking focus and skill.
We don't know how they got past the barrier, or if they were the reason a barrier was placed there afterwards. One of the most successful expeditions. Expedition 81 was the first to successfully communicate with the Nevron. Then they died.
This is the first Nevron with whom we've been able to communicate. It seems stuck in this cave. Gregoire is, as usual, deeply suspicious, but this could change our entire understanding of Nevron.
No. This is the one, I think, with the walls, where they get crushed by the walls.
And the painters.
I mentioned Expedition 78 in the beginning of the video. This expedition stole airships in what looks like an elaborate plan to overthrow the Lumiere Council.
We deserve strong leaders, not those old fools on the council.
Oh, was the first white Nevron? Oh, I know there was an expedition that was with the walls. Oh, was it with the Lantern Nevron? Which one? You guys know what I'm talking about, though? I'm not crazy, right? There was an expedition that encountered the one with the walls that got crushed.
Hiding under the dome. Under their control, our people are condemned to a slow, inevitable extinction.
After 78, there's a gap in expedition journals, the next one being 70. It's not clear if this rebellion caused a pause in expeditions. Those were my favorite expeditions, but I want to know what yours is. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then click this other video because YouTube thinks you're going to love it. And as always, remember that fun is business, and if you drink, don't eat mushrooms unless you...
Yeah, it was good. Excellent video. Dude, even though I beat Expedition 33, I'm still like very interested in it, man. Very good game. Very good game.